guys, this is Dormouse03.
And I'm Iron Praetorian.
Welcome to another Ramblings of Mad People. So, I don't know what that was. Madness is what it was.
Do you want to start again, or are you...
No, we can keep going. Or else we'll never get it done. So here we are, mid-March, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, well, just gone where I am.
Yeah. St. Patrick's Day evening for me. And I don't know, neither one of us has done we've done a fair bit, but we haven't done a lot to talk about. But we're going to talk about whatever we have to talk about. So what do you have to talk about?
I finished Middle-earth Shadow of War Game of the Year edition.
Mm-hmm. Is that the third time you've played that game?
Yes. And then, third time I've completed it.
Yep.
Although the 360 one doesn't have the DLC, so it was a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
Then you and I both played Middle-earth Shadow of War's DLC, the first story DLC.
Mm-hmm.
I also finished Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series.
Mm-hmm.
Almost finished Watch Dogs. And played a game called Human Fall Flat.
Very cool. And and what I've got to say, what do I have to talk about? I did Middle-earth Shadow of War, the whole thing, and the DLC, the Blade of Galadriel DLC. I did finally Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. I finished Life is Strange Before the Storm, the third episode of that, and the farewell episode of that, which is cool. I did the Severed DLC for Dead Space 2 from, 20 years ago. And I've been working really hard on Gears of War 4. Trying to finish that long, grindy turd up. So, and I just started the Assassin's Creed Origins DLCs.
Very nice.
So, what about Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor for you? Anything special to say? Have we talked about it before?
Yeah, here? I'm sure we have, because I've talked about the problems I had with the original version where it glitched my achievements and I had to end up deleting my save and redoing everything, and I didn't want to do that until I did the DLC, because the DLC used your character's level, so it gave you all the upgrades. So it was I had to do that first, and it was a bit difficult. This time round, did the two hardest achievements in the game first time. I don't know how. I was like, cool. So it's these little trials, challenges where you have to get a certain amount of score in a certain amount of time. So the first one is called Trial of the Hunt, I believe, and you have to eat a certain number of captains while riding a Graug. You have to get a certain number of points, which means you kind of want to eat 12 captains and then let the other ones get promoted to war chiefs, because the war chiefs are worth more points. So what you do is you send a war chief, you brand one war chief and then use him to riot with the other ones, and then eat the other one in combat with him.
Cool.
Rinse and repeat. And I did it with 30 seconds to spare, because I was a little paranoid about the score, and it turned out my war chief was worth 3,000, so I was like, never mind. Would have been fine.
Cool.
So I got that done. That's really all I have to say about it. We've covered it before.
Yeah.
I just seem to be...
It's a really good game. I played it not a long time ago, but a long time ago. A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've played it 3 times, so I know it fairly well.
Yeah, you completed the version on the 1, the version on the 360, and the Game of the Year edition.
Well, technically I've completed it 5, because I redid the entire story once, and it still didn't unlock the story achievements I needed, and then I redid it a 3rd time on the original one to get them to unlock. So, yeah.
And you completed a lot.
Watch Dogs, I played as part of the 12 Days of Christmas challenge on True Achievements website, and I've been cleaning that one up, and I still am not super enamored with it. Like, the gameplay's fine, the driving needed a little bit of work. The main story isn't that engaging. I didn't like the main protagonist either. He's very wooden, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I managed to get the multiplayer achievements done in the main game, which is like go and hack some people and then get tailed by 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
But the DLC's dead. So I'll have to
wait for me
to give me a hand with that one.
I was just thinking that Aiden Pierce should be called Human Fall Flat.
Yep.
So funny.
The character from Human Fall Flat had more personality than he did, and he was white, completely completely white, and had no face.
Yeah, he was actual cardboard, and he had more personality than Aiden Pierce.
Yeah,
that's funny. Cool. So those were things that you were just replaying because you got them and you wanted to recomplete them for some more gamer score and some achievements and stuff.
And also I wanted to play Watch Dogs again before I play Watch Dogs 2 to kind of recap on the story a bit.
Yeah.
And it felt like a good opportunity because got it for free with Games with Gold, just had to buy the DLC, so why not?
Why not indeed?
And Shadow of Mordor was like £3. So I was like, I like that game, it's fun. I'll play it again.
Yeah. Speaking of Middle-earth Shadow of War, so I completed it, finally. And it was very, very good. I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was super interesting. And the only problem with it was, at the end, you had to do like 20 siege missions back to back to back. And it was boring and tedious as shit.
Yeah. And it literally felt to me like they were going, well, you know, there's microtransactions in this game. You've lost like 7 of your war chiefs. You could always buy some. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I never did.
It was unnecessarily long. No,
I really didn't lose that many of my war chiefs, honestly.
No, but there was the potential to lose a few, because some of them would like just die getting crushed by one of the walls when it collapsed, or at least that happened like 2 or 3 times for me. Because they were dumb.
A couple of mine died randomly, but you could bring them back to life. I know that lowered their level, but...
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. And I had so much in-game currency by the end that I could just buy those packs.
Yep. But you'd also put the hours in to get the in-game currency, so it's kind of like...
That's true, but I didn't really do a whole lot of grinding other than just playing the game, you know? So, playing the game, doing all the side stuff, doing all the achievements, and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know.
Also, the problem I came across was trying to recruit new captains. Above a certain level, they'd have iron will, and you wouldn't be able to recruit them.
Yeah, that happened to me a few times.
That happened to me like 7 times in a row. And I was like, really? These guys, I'm going to have to lower level them, which means they're not going to be worth recruiting because they're now lower level. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, game.
Yeah. That stinks. I don't know. I don't think I had as much of an issue with that as you did, but...
They may have patched it. Because I remember certain people were complaining about it as well, and I was like, yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah. They may have. But... Overall, the game was great. Mechanics worked really well. It played... The gameplay was fun. The Nemesis system was good. The story I thought was good. I really liked Shelob. Oddly enough. Seeing as she's like the animal that I hate most.
But she wasn't really portrayed as that animal.
No, she wasn't.
which was a little strange.
She was in her human or her elven form most of the time, so that was cool.
Yeah. She's like Sauron level.
Yep.
Person, basically.
Yeah. Which is pretty neat, and I don't know. I liked it. I think the story kind of works in canon.
Yeah, with a sprinkling of like salt in certain areas.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. So this happened. Because I'm not going to spoil anything. It's like,
yeah.
A couple of things happened, and I was like, oh, okay, that seems to be like a few hundred years out from where it should be. But then something else happened that kind of puts it in a context of, oh, it could have happened at the time before. It's like involving ring wraiths and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the original ring wraiths are X number of years old.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, so how did this happen? But then they introduced a mechanic, and it was like, oh, okay, that kind of explains it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it works. It does kind of change certain things about the story, but I think it works. It worked for me. Anyway. Yeah. So
I know my Lord of the Rings lore a bit better than you do.
You do. So
that's why I was like, I will have to research this a little bit. And I was like, okay, yeah, that works enough for it to not be stupid.
Yes. It wasn't like blatantly ignoring the source material, so that was good.
No, it wasn't. I also feel like they have the potential, depending on how the other DLC goes, for a third game.
Yes, which I think would be super cool. Because then it wouldn't be tied to the Lord of the Rings canon, which would be cool because it could be its own thing, which would be awesome. Anyway, I really liked some of the orcs.
Yeah.
Some of the orcs were cool and funny.
Yeah. My favorite orcs are from the DLC.
Yes, my favorite orcs are from the DLC too. So we should talk about the DLC just a little bit. It's Blade of Galadriel, and it's Eltariel.
Yeah.
I remembered her name!
Yay!
Eltariel.
You're having troubles with that one.
I know. Is the main character in that. And it's a little bit different. So instead of dominating orcs to recruit them, you do little favors for them and recruit them that way.
And then you win their allegiance, basically. Yeah. So they're helping you out of their own free will rather than being dominated.
Yeah, which I thought was awesome. And I really liked that.
It very much feels like with Celebrimbor that it's like you're effectively trading a Dark Lord for a Bright Lord, and they both effectively have methods that are not great.
Yes. Both of them are like, I will rule you because I deserve to, and so...
I'm better than you, I'm powerful. This is... Because I say this is the best thing to do, then this is the best thing to do, because I'm telling you that that's the way it should be. Yeah.
And by any means necessary. I don't care if you want me. I'm going to force you to want me, which is a weird sort of violation scenario.
You're effectively making the Uruk your slaves.
Yes, you are. And
involuntary mind slaves.
Yeah, mind slaves. It's like mind rape is what it is, because it's making them think that they want to side with you even if they don't, which is bad. So anyway, the DLC was cool because you didn't do that, and you met some really cool orcs.
Yep. I'm also curious to see what happens in the next DLC whenever that one comes out,
because that's with the guys whose name starts with a B. Barrymore, something.
Berethor, Bellinor, something like that.
Something like that. So it's going to be with him, and he was cool.
Yep, the Archives dude.
Mm-hmm. They had some really good supporting characters in this one.
They did, yeah. Shelob, Eltariel, the general's daughter. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, me neither. I think it started with an I.
Kanan? She wasn't. She was interesting enough.
Mm-hmm.
Carmen.
Yeah. The woods nature.
The nature lady, yeah.
The nature lady. The, I think, female Ent. Yeah.
Entwife, maybe, yeah. Which would kind of fit with the Entwives, we lost them, and it's like, well, they're kind of beyond Mordor, so yeah, you kind of did lose them.
Yeah.
If she is that.
Yes. And fighting the Balrog and all that stuff within her missions, that was cool. Indeed.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see where they're going to go with the series.
Me too. I would like for their, like you said, I think they really do have potential for a third game, and, you know, maybe they could do it without microtransactions. Or they could keep the microtransactions and not make me do 20 sieges, you know, over and over and over again ad nauseum in an effort to get me to buy their microtransactions, which I'm not going to do.
10 would have been enough.
Yeah, 10 would have been fine. 20 was too much.
Too many. Because it kind of just... The story had momentum and then gone.
Yep, then it just died.
It's like... And then you get a little ending snippet thing, and it's like, yeah, cool. So that's why I did all that?
Yeah. Because I think it was supposed to make it feel like it was taking this long amount of time, but you didn't need to actually make it take a long amount of time for me.
Well, what they could have done is, like, shown other events occurring.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have had a snippet of, like, Aragorn was born, and siege, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, you know, Bilbo had his adventure, siege, blah, 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 blah. And, like, had less sieges and tied it in with... And they may have not been able to get the rights to all of that kind of stuff, who knows, with what they actually have, but I don't see why they wouldn't.
I don't see why they wouldn't, because it's like, it is officially a Lord of the Rings thing, so why can't they refer to Lord of the Rings characters?
You know, tying it into the timeline
properly. Yep.
Properly, and making it so you didn't have to do 20 of them, I think would have worked pretty well.
I agree. So, but overall, I really liked it, and I thought the DLC was very good.
Yep.
So, that is... Anything else that you wanted to say about Shadow of War?
No, I think you've pretty much covered everything I want to talk about.
Coolness. What was your next thing? Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. So you and I have both played that one. I finished it, finally. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Very good.
Definitely one of the better Telltale games for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was typical witty Guardians of the Galaxy kind of humour, and filled with 80s, 70s and 80s music, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And you and I had, like, completely different choices.
We did. Because near the beginning we made a very different choice. So
yeah. And it did actually affect things.
It did. This one. Which was cool.
Because Telltale sometimes just kind of railroads you into endings where it's not really different.
Right. Where it's maybe just a little bit different flavor of things. But this one definitely did diverge, because the whole thing is about going to get this thing called the... What kind of forge?
Eternity Forge.
The Eternity Forge, which is a thing that can bring people back from the dead.
Yeah. And you're effectively trying to stop somebody else from bringing their entire race back.
Yes.
Which would be very bad.
Yes. And you have some choices throughout to either... Near the beginning, actually, you have the choice to either keep the forge or destroy the forge. And you chose to destroy the forge, and I chose to keep the forge. And so, you know, that really did affect some of the things that we had available to us throughout the rest of the game, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had some really nice moments. It showed some really nice development of some of the characters, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, because there were certain characters I thought I'd annoyed so much they wouldn't want anything to do with me, and then one of them ended up sticking around when everybody else kind of wandered off. And I was like, I didn't expect it to be you, Rocket.
Yeah, that was funny. I think it was Groot for me.
Groot and Mantis, right?
Groot and Mantis, yeah, stayed with me, and everybody else left.
Yeah, Rocket stayed with me, and Mantis left, and Groot went after her. And then Gamora left.
Yep.
Which I thought she would stay, but my previous actions, she was like, not very happy with me.
Yeah.
Not that I did anything bad.
Right. Yeah. I really don't know what
Well,
I did that pissed her off too. I know that I pissed Rocket off.
Oh yeah. A certain two characters may or may not have, not been there.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Ones that we haven't mentioned.
Yeah, not been there.
Yeah, they weren't there. And so, by various possibilities, I think.
Yeah, it's like two other characters aren't present, and that caused her to leave for me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think that was the same for me. It's been a little while, but I can't remember. Anyway, point being, it was cool. I liked it. Yeah. It was Guardians.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the second one. Because I'm assuming they'll make one.
Yeah, I assume they will.
Yeah, I'd probably say that one, Tales from the Borderlands and Wolf Among Us are probably my favourite Telltale games. I just never really clicked so well with The Walking Dead. I got most of them for free, so I was like, I'll play them, and see what everyone think. Everyone says they're really good and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, they're alright. They're just not my... I don't watch the show anyway, so they're not my kind of thing. And Batman.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I liked Guardians. I don't know that I liked it quite as much as Tales and The Wolf Among Us. And maybe not quite as much as one of the Walking Deads. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I played Walking Dead 1 and 2. So it's harder for me to say. But it was good. I would say all of the Telltale games that I have played have been good.
Cool.
Some of them have been great. So.
Yeah.
None of them have been bad, in my opinion. So. Cool. So you played that. I played Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII, which is Final Fantasy XIII 3. The last one in the 13 trilogy. And I've had this game for like over 3 years, I think, sitting in my backlog. And I remember
when you bought it when we first met.
Yeah.
Roughly.
And I remember, I don't know why I just was disinclined to play it. I think when it came out, it had a lot of negative publicity or something. And some people were just complaining about the mechanics of it, and they didn't like this and that. I really enjoyed it. I don't know.
I'm glad you did. But that's like certain movies and TV shows that everyone's like, oh yeah, this is super amazing. And I watch it and I'm like, that was rubbish. Yeah. And then I watch something that people will give like 27% on Rotten Tomatoes and I'm like, that was really good.
Yeah. It's just different taste.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess I can see what people were saying. It was really, a lot of the combat was optional. And so there wasn't a ton of fighting. The fighting mechanics were a little bit weird.
Bit clunky?
Well, basically you just held a button and then you switched to another paradigm and then held a button and then you switched to another paradigm and held the button. When you were fighting some of the harder creatures, so like there's this dragon called Aeronite that's like the big ultra optional boss thing. And so you really had to do a really good setup for that, get the right elementals, elemental damages and things and guards and whatnot set up. And then you really had to do some pretty intricate swapping between things in order to like, okay, I need to switch to this one so that I don't take damage from that attack. And then I need to switch here to attack with these things. And then I need to switch to this. And then I need to stop time so that I can hit. And then I need to do this thing. So it was pretty, tactical and intense when it was the harder enemies, but for most things it was, I'm gonna hold this button until you die. So, you know. So that was what it was, but I don't really care so much because what I wanted from the game was a good story and a good conclusion to Lightning and Company's story arc, and I feel like it really delivered on that. A lot of the things, you didn't level up by fighting, you leveled up by completing quests, which was oftentimes just going and talking to people and like collecting stuff, and sometimes you'd have to fight things, but a lot of times it was just going back and forth and talking to different people. And like there was one to like round up sheep into a pen. I think there were two to round up sheep.
You had to roll an animal handling check.
I did. And I don't know. It was just stuff like that, going around and like collecting things and talking to different folks and stuff like that. And it was, the whole premise was you were trying to save people because the world was coming to an end in 13 days. And
that makes sense. 13.
The world was coming to, but I think if you did shitty enough, it would end after like 7. So
be better.
Get good, scrub. So it was, the world was coming to an end, and you had to help people like fulfill their lives, kind of, before that time in order to save their souls so that they could be reborn into the new world or whatnot. And so things were like, reconcile a father and his child, or solve somebody's murder, or bring somebody this book that they'd lost, just different things. And some of them felt super meaningful, and some of them felt kind of like, really, this was your life's purpose? Okay. But they had some really good side quests within there that were pretty touching in terms of people being reunited with family members and learning lessons and things. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then you got to see some nice conclusions to the story arcs from all of the characters from the first 2 games, which I thought was neat as well. And the whole thing had a really nice ending, I thought, personally. So, and I really liked the final boss, and killing the final boss brought me great pleasure. So anybody who's played it will know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil that, but I really enjoyed doing that. So I enjoyed the game a whole lot more than I thought I was going to, which was a nice surprise.
So I'm really glad that you enjoyed Final Fantasy XIII and that you finally got round to playing it.
Thank you.
So I think the next thing I completed was Human Fall Flat, which is an indie developed game. It's like a puzzle platformer. Mm-hmm. It's like 3-dimensional, and you basically control this little dude. And you have to solve puzzles to get through levels. So like the first one's quite easy, but you basically you can jump, you can like fall prone, which means you like basically ragdoll, And you also control your left and right arms separately, and you use the triggers on the controller to like grab with them. So you can like run, jump, grab ledges, or press buttons, or pick up boxes and stuff. And like each of the different levels was related to doing different things. So like the first level was pressing buttons open some doors just to get you into the controls, and then the next level had a bunch of train cars you needed to move around. What you had to figure out was if you grabbed the wall next to the train car that you were stood on top of, you could basically use your legs to move the train car backwards and forwards. So it was like you jumped on the train car, then walked to the like midsection wall, move the train car along with your feet so that it met the next platform along so you could move forward.
Huh.
And then the next level was a bunch of like switches that you had to put boxes on, and there was like lifts and stuff, so you had to work out like, okay, so I get off the lift and put the box on and move it up. And all the levels had different themes. So the fourth level was the mountain level, which was kind of like a lot of platforming. The fifth level was, I want to say it's Castle, but I think that's number 6. Castle was number 6. Water was number 7. Demolition was number 8. Aztec was number 9, I believe. And I always forget what the other one is. But anyway, so they all had their different themes to do different stuff. And there was a bunch of achievements associated with things like, on the mountain level, throw all the speakers off the balcony in the house. So you had to get to the house and then pick up the speakers. I was having trouble getting one of them off, so I used a flat screen TV as a ramp.
Is it bad that when you said speakers, I thought about the guy from Destiny?
No, just throwing him off.
The speakers off.
Because he didn't have the right class item for you this week.
Yes.
Nope, you're going. Get off. You've taken all my motes of light. How dare you? No, I meant speakers as in like a music system.
Yeah, I know.
Not Bill Nye.
No.
So yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I was like, this is going to be like Octodad all over again. There was a couple of achievements are a little bit of a pain in the ass. Because there was one, you have to fluidly parkour, whatever that means. Like, does that mean I have to continuously move? Does that mean I can't walk backwards? Does that mean I can't, grab something twice or like swing twice? But you basically had to swing off a bunch of lanterns onto some different platforms and get from one building to the blacksmith. That one was probably the hardest in the game to do.
Yeah.
But the rest of them were pretty easy.
Cool.
Or, it didn't take too many attempts to do. Some of them were quite fun, like zip wire from the church. So you had to climb the church, and then you had to find this, like, rod that you had to use to, like, clip onto the zip wire and slide down.
Neat.
I think the only problem I had was it wasn't unlocking the achievements properly, so I had to keep going on the game hub, and then they'd pop on there for some reason. But I don't know whether that was Xbox having a bit of a meh, or whether it was the game itself, because, like, say the middle 20 achievements did that, and then the last one's unlocked fine. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like it's Xbox more than the game.
Yes. Yeah.
And you could customize your characters. You could, like, change their you could change their, like, model color to whatever you want, and they had a few little outfits you could wear. So I was walking around as a builder with a hard hat on and utility belt.
That's cute.
Yeah, I like the achievements. They were varied enough that it wasn't boring.
Yeah.
So
That's
there was
cool.
There was one to climb in a dumpster and then travel for 50 meters. Which was funny, because trying to get the lid off the dumpster without tipping it over and then getting in it and getting it to move.
Yeah.
So I signed in a second controller and had him drag the dumpster around for a little bit. No, it was cool. And then there was one to like speed run the game, but it wasn't really a speed run as such. It was just do all the levels in one sitting.
Cool.
So once you'd figured out that you could like swing up certain walls. So you could basically grab with one hand, swing, and if you timed it right, you could grab higher with the other hand, let go with the first hand, and then repeat and swing up to different areas that you may not have been able to do otherwise. And then was like on the castle level, you could do that, and then it had a completely different zip line that wasn't reachable by any other means than doing that. So the game designers had put stuff in for people that were like thinking outside the box.
That's cool.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Good deal. So we both had some things that we weren't quite sure we were going to enjoy as much as we did.
Yeah.
So
I always like that. Like, I don't know if this game's going to be that good, and then you're like, actually, that was really cool.
Yeah. That's really good.
I started Human Fall Flat as part of the True Achievements 10th birthday challenge, which was to spell Happy Birthday True Achievements.
Was for you. Still is for me.
Well, I started like 9 games, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't started anything new yet, but I may for it. I am through HAPP, so I need a Y now, and I think I know where I'm going to get that from, and I don't think I'm going to have to start anything new for it, but I might need to start a new one for the YN birthday.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'm trying to just kind of get it gradually. I know you did it within the short time limit, and you got the free month of True Achievements Pro, which is cool.
Yeah, so I was like, I didn't even read that. I was just doing it because I wanted to get it done, and then you were like, oh yeah, by the way, you'll get a free month. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. So yeah, they added that onto my account, which was cool.
Which is very nice. Like, you already got the reward, which is cool.
I know, I started 7 new games. I still had some left over from the previous challenge that I haven't completed yet.
And those damn True Achievements challenges.
I know, but it actually got me to start some games that I really wanted to get done, like, this year. So, like, Recall, because it'll have been a couple of years since I bought that one, and I just kind of want to play it, but never got round to it. Lords of the Fallen, which I finally got the DLC for, because they put the deluxe edition on sale for super cheap. And Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Yeah.
Which are all decent games. I just never got round to starting them. And I have some games with gold things that I wanted to get done, like Beyond Good and Evil HD and Earthlock.
Yep.
So I know what I'm going to be doing for the next month or 2. Yeah.
You mean playing Far Cry 5?
Yeah, that too. I was going to say.
Yeah. No, I'm going to see, because I've got another, almost another month? Like a couple of weeks at least to finish up.
3 weeks, because it's till the 10th of April.
Yeah, so I've got, another few weeks to do this thing, so hopefully I'm going to get it done without too much issue. But we'll see. I mean, it's a lot of letters. Most of them are fairly common ones, which is cool, but then you do have your random...
There's a lot of E's.
Yeah. And there are a couple of Y's and a B, which isn't all that common, actually, I don't think.
Yeah, I think the one that I had the least of was Y.
Yeah. Yep. So, we shall see. But, more on that later. Congratulations to you for getting it.
Yeah, but you know what I'm like.
Yeah, I know. You're a machine. And so we'll see, and I'll let you guys know what happens with that, and if I end up getting it, and if I end up starting new stuff to do it, and what goes on.
And I'll talk about what games I get through that I've started, and we'll probably talk about Far Cry 5 next month, or do a separate thing for Far Cry 5, depending on how much we have to talk about it.
Yeah, well, we're probably going to record Far Cry 5 as a co-op game.
Right, yeah, I forgot about that.
So we'll probably just talk about it at the end of that, but we might do a little recap on here.
I have to figure out where I put my Elgato.
Yeah. And...
Oh, there it is. Never mind. It's sandwiched between about 15 games and DVDs.
Oh boy. Yeah, you're gonna have to pull that sucker out. And we'll do that and record that as a co-op thing. And then I'm probably gonna do something for A Way Out. And we'll do that co-op too, because they have the cool thing where it allows you to share. If you buy it, it allows you to share it with somebody and they don't have to pay for it, so that you can play it together, which I think is super awesome since it's a co-op
we'll
only
definitely
game.
have to test that out.
Yeah, we'll have to test it out, but hopefully we will end up playing that next Friday.
Wow, is that really coming out next Friday?
Yep, it sure is. Sea of Thieves comes out next week, and then next Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. A Way Out comes out Friday, and then Far Cry 5 is the Tuesday after that. So it's just like boom, 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 boom of co-op
I think
stuff.
Far Cry 5 is 27th.
Yep.
That's the one I remembered the date of, and then I was like, oh yeah, Way Out. I forgot about that.
Yep. It's the 20th for Sea of Thieves, which we might not play right away, but...
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain what our plan of action with that one is, because we have other friends we want to play with, so it's kind of juggling.
It's sort of up to them when we're going to do it. And then A Way Out will hopefully be next weekend, and I think it won't be very long, but we'll see.
No, it might be like the length of Brothers, maybe, or a bit longer, because I know it's kind of like from the people that made Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons.
Yep. So we'll see about it, and then Far Cry 5 will be the week after, which I think I'm super jazzed for Far Cry 5. I'm really excited. I've been watching some of the trailers and things, and...
I haven't watched anything just because I want to go in a little bit.
Yeah. There's this one that you should watch that's about the different people that you can hire. And they're talking a little bit about themselves. And at the end, it's got the dog. And he's just barking. And it has little subtitles. And it's like, I'm a good boy. Bad people murdered my family. And so now I will kill the bad people.
I'm going to have to watch that. You'll have to send me the link.
You will have.
Cool.
It's funny.
So we have plenty to do in the next month.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Anything else in particular that you wanted to talk about that you did this month?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Cause I did the Dead Space 2 Severed DLC. It was nothing to write home about. I hadn't played it. I bought it earlier this year because I wanted to play it and finish up that game. And it was a couple of levels of Dead Space, which was fine. And I had a really good time because, years ago when I played Dead Space 2, I did the hardcore mode and got the foam finger gun. So I just used that to play through the DLC in. And so it was super cool because I just played through and was like bam, 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 bang, 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 pew, pew, bang, pew, pew, and things just died. And so it was a nice little, I guess, reward for my hard work from the past, which is cool. So that was what it was. It was fine. It was fun. It was Dead Space, and Dead Space 2 was my favorite of the three. So.
I've only played Dead Space 1, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah. You didn't enjoy it, or you did?
I did enjoy it.
Yeah. Cool. You should play through the campaigns of the other two at some point, maybe on an alternate.
Yeah, when I get time.
Yeah. In 17 years. We're really trying to get through our backlogs this year, though.
We really are. It's like, we bought so many things on sale, or got games with gold that we'd really like to play, and it's just like, I need to get some stuff cleared off my tag.
Yeah. Like,
off my backlog. Just so A, they're not on my hard drive, and B, I can just kind of play things when I buy them. More than, I want to finish this, and then I'll play that, and then other things get played instead, and it's like...
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, Recall.
Mm-hmm. And it will be nice to get it so that we don't have so many things waiting to be played, where it feels like, you know, like Final Fantasy 13-3 was for me, where it was just sitting there for years. And it's kind of like, do I want to start that? No, there's something new coming out. Do I want to start that? No, I bought this other thing recently that I'm excited to play. So to have things that you purchase not lose momentum in your head for like your excitement for playing them.
Yes.
I think is why I want to get mine down.
You don't feel like it's a chore trying to get through certain games to be able to get to the ones that you super want to play. If that makes sense.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah. Finished Dead Space 2. I did the last episode of Life is Strange, which was cool. I thought it had a nice conclusion.
Yep.
Life is Strange Before the Storm, just to be clear. Not the original one. The sequel. Prequel. And then
the pre-sequel.
The pre-sequel.
That's Borderlands.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Did you enjoy that game overall?
Yeah, I did enjoy Before the Storm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
especially the D&D segments.
Yes, the D&D segments were super cool. I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah. Calamastia and Elamon, and I think they took those names from some campaign.
Probably.
So.
Unless it was like Pathfinder and not D&D, but still.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was D&D, though. They're supposed to be. But anyway, it was fun. Those parts were fun. It had some nice little character moments. Some of the things I think didn't fit 100% with the first game. So, like, Nathan was weird to me because he didn't seem quite as awful in Before the Storm, and then also depending on what you did in it.
I'm not sure if the dude, the teacher from Life is Strange, is actually working there at that point.
I think he's not.
And that might be why Nathan's not so bad.
That is a good point.
Because it could be that his influence was the one that just kind of tipped him over the edge. He is having issues because his like girlfriend is trying to talk to him, and he's like a bit messed up.
Yeah.
Like stressed or whatever with the drama show thing they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Victoria was a little turd.
Well, Victoria was hilarious for me.
Oh my god.
She may or may not have tried to do something, and I was like, how about I do that to you instead?
Yeah, no, I did that too. It was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed it. I think it was a nice little, I guess, study of Chloe's character and showed a little bit more of her, which was nice.
Yeah.
And then the farewell episode that they had is like the bonus thing that came out like a week ago or a couple weeks ago was really cool, and it was showing even before the events of Before the Storm. It was back when Max left to go to Portland, Seattle, one of those, and it was like their last day together, or their last real day of fun together, which was cool to see. Yeah. And sad. And I cried.
Oh.
Yeah. So, for anybody who is wondering if that's worth it, I would say it is. Even it doesn't have any achievements on it because they removed the achievement from it to make it part of the base game, which I think was the right choice for them to do. Because I think it's dumb to have like a pre-order or a deluxe edition thing have an achievement that's part of the original 1000.
I think it also goes against some rule.
Yeah. So I think it was good that they made them change that. But I think the episode was good, and I'm happy that I bought it, even though it didn't have achievements on it. I think it was well worth the time. because I enjoy the story. So, yeah. And
so we
that was
had good
about it.
months, and I've got my gaming head back on again.
Yeah. You were having a little moment there of
Yeah, I was trying to
melancholy.
work out my way forward with gaming and stuff, because I've had eye problems for the last year and a half, and trying to work out how much time I can game for, and that kind of put in perspective, like, what do I really want from gaming now? Are achievements still what I want to go for, and completion percentage, or do I just want to play games? And I think deep down, I'm so invested with achievements at this point, I just kind of have to get them.
Yeah.
But I can do it slower
Yes.
than I used to. Like, it's not some mad race to get top 5 completion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I'm trying to get content out for a channel.
Right. Yeah.
Because that would kill me, probably.
It's maddening trying to get stuff done for a channel, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
So, which is why I haven't had much come out for the channel, because I'm really trying to get some other stuff done, and I had some other things to do, you know.
IRL, in real life.
I've had real life things that I've had to really focus more on, but stuff will be coming out, and we do want to continue to have these, even though, you know, there's going to be some months like this where there's not as much for us to talk about.
Yeah.
We still manage to talk.
Yeah, over each other.
Over each other.
No, but we can also do other ones where we talk about things related to games, so maybe like microtransactions or the future of gaming and such, if there are months that aren't super, you know, where we've played like one thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we can definitely talk.
Oh, yes. That's one thing that we are more than capable of doing, is just talking about stuff. So, you know, if you guys have anything that you want us to talk about, let us know.
Let us know.
And we'll talk about it ad nauseum, probably more than you wanted us to.
Yeah, and then go off on a tangent about something else.
Yep, most
'Cause it
likely.
just wandered into my brain.
Yeah, like, the new achievements for Gears of War 4 and how much I hate those.
Yeah.
Coalition people. Ah.
If they want to put Achievement Hunters off a series, they're going the right way about it.
Yes, they surely are. Like, the number of people that I've seen say, yep, and they've killed this series for me, is crazy. Considering the willingness of people to do seriously. You know? It's like, I'm totally willing to do
is like
seriously.
the benchmark of Gears.
Yeah.
So it's cool, like that's associated with the series, but when it's like, you've got seriously done, now we're going to add mini-seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, but none of the stuff you did for seriously will count towards this.
Or we're going to add extra seriouslys. What? Why? I mean, and it's years after the game has come out.
So seriously, 4.2.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite enough to get 0.5.
Yeah. It's just dumb is what it is. And that is a topic that I want to talk about on another thing at another time. But, yeah, so I'm not going to get too much into my little tirade about that. But, yeah, Gears of War 4. Ugh, Coalition. Ugh, bitches.
And on that note...
And on that note, I think that's all for this month, yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Very cool. Well, so, thank you for listening, guys. We hope that you have had a good month and a happy St. Patrick's Day. After this goes up, it will not be that day anymore, but hope yours was good. And we will talk to you next month.
Bye-bye.